Today we are going to start our lesson after Eid. First of all, I congratulate the students who have achieved marvelous grades in their O-level examination. Okay, stay blessed, inshallah ta'ala. You will be finding very interesting AS level in our school. So economic system, today is our topic about economic systems. If I ask you what are the basic economic questions, you might have studied in your O levels. That means basic economic questions, they are answered by every system in the world. First question, that is about what to produce. That means how many types of goods and services are demanded by the consumers. So this is actually the consumer question, in which every system has to answer whatever the consumers are demanding the goods and services. Like if you people are demanding A-level education, then schools or the producers of education, they have to supply this type of education. And if this education is not demanded by the students, then there will be no supply of these types of schools, and then we will be having our normal national curriculum to be taught in our school. So now the question is, second question is how to produce. This is going to be the producer question. We know why these questions are arising. These are the questions, they are there because of the scarcity, a basic economic problem faced by all the economies in the world. Okay, resources are scarce. So in order to allocate resources efficiently, these questions needed to be answered by the system. Okay, the third question is for whom to produce. Okay, so these are the three basic questions or fundamental questions in economics. These will decide the allocation of resources in the economy, like what to produce, the consumer choices, consumer demands, they will be shown by answering this question. What type of goods they are demanding. If we are demanding more of air conditioners, then they will be supplied. We are going to the market and inquiring what types of air conditioners are available in the market. Then this information will be provided to the sellers. Then they will be supplying these types of goods in the market. Now, how to produce? We know that the resources to produce all types of goods and services according to consumer wants, the resources are limited. Now the producers will be deciding how resources will be allocated to minimize their wastage. The wastage of resources should be minimized. So how to produce? Producer is deciding whether he is using labor intensive technology, in which more labor is used to produce that product, or he is going to use more of capital to produce the same good. In which method of production he will be able to minimize his cost of production, and he is saving the resources for other goods and services, because resources are limited and scarce. They have alternate uses. And now for whom to produce. Now this is the distributional question. First question was about the consumer choices, consumer wants. Second is about the producer choices, how he is going to decide in order to allocate resources in the economy. For whom to produce means what? How this output which is produced in the economy, where will it be distributed? Whether more poor people are able to get that output produced, or more rich people are able to get this output which is produced by the country or economy. So we say this is a distributional question which tells us that resources or the output or income is distributed equally or unequally. So these are the three questions. Now, how are they linked with the economic system? So every economic system, whether it is free market economy, I write over here the three economic systems which are present in our syllabus to be covered. Free market economy, economic system, second is planned economic system, planned economic. They are going to answer these questions. Free market economy means now these questions, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, they are answered by the market forces of demand and supply without government intervention. Government is having no role in deciding what, how, and for whom to produce. The consumers, they are showing their demands, their choices in the market, and producers or sellers, they are responding to those choices. So we say all the resources, they are allocated, or these questions are answered by the market mechanism or price mechanism in order to allocate the resources to satisfy the maximum of human wants. Therefore, a free market system is that which answers these questions: what, how, and for whom to produce in the allocation of the resources, and how the goods and services will be produced, that will be decided by the market system. Now come towards the planned economic system. This is a system which answers these economic questions, basic economic questions: what, how, and for whom to produce. These questions are answered by the government. Market forces are not going to allocate resources in order to answer these questions, but this is the government body. The bureaucrats are planning division of the government, which is going to decide what, how, and for whom to produce. Government is going to decide that they are producing too much of wheat and they are going to produce too much of televisions and cars. So this is the planning division. That's why it is called planned economic system. Here we find centralization of decision making. The decisions are centrally made. Governments, offices, government bureaucrats, they are deciding for the whole country how the resources will be allocated, whether they are going to allocate in the production of weapons or in the production of consumer items or the capital goods. That is decided by the government or the planned economic system. Market is playing no role in the allocation of resources when a country is following this economic system. Now come towards the mixed economic system. The mixed economic system is that in which both market forces, they are allocating majority of the resources in the production of those goods which are demanded by the consumers. The private goods or private sector is entertaining the consumers in order to supply them those goods which are demanded by the consumers. Whereas the market system is not producing the public goods like roads, defense, and many types of merit goods like education and health. They are under provided by the free market system. These are going to be the failures of the free market economy, that it is not allocating resources in the desired level of the society. That's why we find so much of allocative failures by the free market system. Allocation of resources is not efficient in case of free market. So in that case, what happens? Free market system is also allocating resources in the production of demerit goods. And those demerit goods are harmful to the consumers and the society as a whole. Therefore, mixed economic system will take the place of both of these above two systems, because planned system is not focusing on the quality of the goods produced, they are focusing on the quantity, and they are ignoring what type of goods they are producing. They are only targeting the products and they are targeting the output rather than they are focusing on the quality. Although planned system is more focused towards public goods and merit goods and more equal distribution of income, but it is ignoring the consumer welfare. And mixed economic system, that is the mixture of both free market system and planned economic system. Whatever we are finding the missing areas, the missing market in the free market economic system or planned economic system is unable to plan more of the consumer welfare in the society, then both private and public sectors, they will be deciding what, how and for whom to produce. Majority of the decisions will be taken by the market forces in the mixed economic system, and the rest where market is missing, like in case of public goods and in case of allocation of resources to the production of merit and demerit goods, then government will take part into the economic activities to have more economic efficiency and equity or fair distribution of income in the economy. So we say these are the allocative questions by which the allocative mechanisms, these are called the allocative mechanisms, which are going to allocate resources in the economy in order to overcome, they will try to overcome the basic economic problem of scarcity, that maximum of human wants should be satisfied within limited usage of the resources or utilization of resources. These are called the economic system. Now, one by one, I will be taking their explanation to you people. Okay. So now these questions you might be knowing very well. Now, if I ask you, how can we define a system? We say computer or cell phone is a system. So how can we define that this is a system? Free market economic system. All right. System, what is the definition of a system? So system is that in which different parts work with each other in order to achieve the common objectives. Like we say, computer is a system. Here we find a processor in which we have a hard drive, processor, and many other things on its motherboard. And when we are providing an input to that system, it will be displayed on our monitor. So if we disintegrate these parts of a computer, they cannot achieve the objective of the operator. Like if we are having 1 terabyte hard drive, but it is out of that CPU, central processing unit, and we want to save a book in that hard drive, it cannot work until unless it is linked with the processor and the motherboard. Then it will be called a part of a system, and system is working together. In our human body, food, we are having circulatory system, circulation of blood, which is taking place by different types of parts in our circulatory system in order to circulate blood. So system is that in which different parts, they work with each other in order to achieve the common objective. If those parts are separated or disintegrated, they cannot achieve their common objective. So what are the different components of an economic system? We said economic agents. There can be 3 economic agents. One is called the consumer. Second is called the producers, and third is called the government. All right. So these are the three economic agents. If they work with each other, then they will be running an economic system. In case of free market economy, consumers and producers, they work with each other without government intervention. Government is not playing any role in the allocation of the resources in the economy. So whatever consumers are demanding, that should be supplied by the producers. Even that good is a merit or demerit, the consumers are demanding that is having the allocation of resources by the producers. These are the economic agents. And if we say planned economic system, in that case, government is playing most of the decision. It is taking most of the decision, rather the consumers and producers in the market economy. And in case of mixed economic system, all these three will be working with it. In case of free market economy, the decisions are decentralized. Market is the decision-making body. Market will decide what consumer choices are there. Market will decide what, how, and for whom to produce. Therefore, we can define the free market economic system is that in which allocation of resources is taking place by millions of consumers and producers in the market. There are consumers and producers. The operating system will be the market mechanism, that is demand and supply will decide. If demand of certain thing is increasing, then sellers will be supplying those things in the market. Where demand has been vanished, that product cannot be supplied by the producers. If we say demand of old button cell phones, that is very, very less, so there is no demand of those cell phones, so they are also not supplied by the producers. Or black and white televisions, nowadays there is no demand, so they are not supplied. So free market economic system is that in which decisions are made by the market forces of demand and supply without government intervention. Decentralized decisions are made. And another the characteristic of free market system is that we have private ownership of resources and businesses and properties. That is the main motivational force. Private ownership means what? We are owning our properties, our businesses, our homes, our cars. There is no restriction by the government or any society member how many houses we can own, how much businesses we can own. There is no restriction. So this is the motivation. If a producer is working hard, he is supplying those goods in the market which are in high demand, then he will be able to sell more of the goods and he is able to earn more profit. And when he is earning more profit, he can increase his production of goods by having another farm, by having another business, or he can spend that earning in order to have more houses for his family, more cars for his family. So this private ownership will encourage the people in the society or in the free market economy to produce those profitable items where profit can be maximized. And then this private ownership will be motivating the whole economic system to work in order to achieve the goals in the allocation of resources in that direction where consumer wants are better satisfied. Rather than we produce those goods where consumer wants are unsatisfied, then our allocation of resources will be inefficient and our private ownership and profit maximization goals will not be achieved. So the another goal of the producers in this economic system is profit maximization. Like every producer in this economic system will be trying to maximize its profit. So that is a goal of this economic system, that profit should be maximized. Then you have to decide those goods should be produced where profits can be maximized, rather to produce those items where profits cannot be maximized. Now another thing we said, no government intervention. No government intervention. Government is going to do nothing in the production of the goods and services. Government is only playing a legislative role, that it is making rules for the private producers and consumers, that these rules need to be followed by them. Rather, government is restricting what types of goods they are going to produce and consume. That is totally dependent upon consumers and producers to decide. Government is going to do nothing as far as its economic role is there. It has the political role, it has the legislative role, but not the economic role in the case of free market economy. So we said this is economic system in which decisions are made by the market forces of demand and supply, and private ownership is there, public ownership is not there, profit maximization is there, no government intervention will be there. And type of government which is required to have this economic system to work efficiently, that is democracy. Democracy means a type of government which is by the people, for the people, and that is going to make the rules and regulations which are going to benefit the society. This is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So democratic country can have more of free market economic system. It can run it efficiently. Exchange rate cannot be determined by the government, but here market forces or demand and supply will be determining the international exchange rate of that country's currency. Okay. So what are the outcomes of this free market economy or free market economic system? We can find different outcomes, like it is focusing more on competition and it is producing more private and qualitative goods are produced. Like it is producing very fascinating goods to the consumers, qualitative, and every time the entrepreneur is spending money on research and development to look at the consumer choices and reading the consumer choices, in which direction the consumers will be demanding the goods. All right. So every day there can be innovations in the products, and that innovation will be promoting the quality of the goods produced, and it is improving the living standard of the people. I can give you the example. Apple iPhone is always looking and focusing on the goods, on the cell phones, which are more qualitative and more consumer oriented. So that is why we are having, after a year or 2 years, we are having more qualitative products available and more fascinated goods which are supplied. And it is also focusing on efficiency and competition. Okay, efficiency means every producer will be trying to reduce its per unit cost of production in order to maximize its profits. And competition means we have one rule, carrot and stick rule. Carrot means that shows a reward to those producers who are fulfilling the consumer wants very effectively, that they are moving in line with the consumer wants as they are changing, so they are also changing. So market is rewarding them in the form of more profit and more survival. And stick denotes a punishment. Those who are unable to compete in the market, if they are unable to compete in the market, market will punish them to be out of that system. Many of the products they were produced previously, nowadays they are obsolete. They cannot be found in the market because market has punished them. So there is efficiency and competition. Consumer wants are better fulfilled. More variety of goods are produced. Living standard of people can be increased. But there can be the drawbacks as well. What are the drawbacks of this economic system? One thing, it is not producing or it is not allocating resources in the production of public goods, or the merit goods are undersupplied. Like education and health, they are provided, but to those who are actually afford them by the private sector, not for everyone. Those who are unable to afford, they will not be provided education. Public goods like roads, defense, street lighting, they are not supplied by the private producers, as these goods are involving non-excludability and non-rivalry. Non-excludability means we cannot exclude anyone from the use of these goods, and non-rivalry means that if I have used a road, it is still available for other people. Its supply is still available. And there is a free rider problem as well. The free rider problem means what? Everyone wants to enjoy the benefit, but nobody is willing to pay for it. All right. So these goods are not supplied, public goods are not supplied, and merit goods are undersupplied in the case of free market economy. Okay. So it is also having an outcome of unequal distribution of income. Like rich is becoming more rich and poor is going to become more poor in this economic system. The gap between rich and poor people will be widening. So that can create a social unrest in the society. Those who are working hard, they are unable to have more income earned because they are not participating in the economic activities in that direction, which involves more capital. All right. So capitalists, they are more favored in this economic system. They are controlling every economic activity in this free market economy. They are also pledging the government to make the rules which are in favor of those capitalists. Okay. So we say it causes more diversified and unequal distribution of income in the society, which is the root cause of social unrest, which increases poverty, unemployment, and many crimes can be risen due to this unequal distribution of income. So that is about the free market economic system. So we have analyzed its main points and its outcomes and how it can be dangerous to the economic or society of the consumers. And by the next class, we will be focusing on planned economic system and mixed economic system. Then this our topic will also be concluded. That's all for today. Hopefully you will find it very interesting. You will also be doing your worksheets which are sent to you by the school management. So you have to submit your worksheets as early as possible. Previous worksheet was about money and specialization and division of labor, and you can answer them very easily. And next we will be finding another type of things which are available. Thank you. That's all for today. And